Got to get him going a little bit. He has not shot the ball as we're accustomed to, and not really getting in the lane either.
South Sudan makes some substitutions as well. Here is Carlik Jones. You mentioned it, trying to get him into the paint. This is a triple off the side of the backboard for Dang. When a oftentimes the alpha on the floor for the United States.
People got to know his name quickly, though. Superior talent.
Deep playoff run for Minnesota. You see his aggressiveness against McCoy.
Nice challenge.
Forcing Dang to drive, and Dang is able to bank it home.
Good field. Big-time kiss, too. Pretty good response to aggressive D.
7 South Sudan assists on their 10 baskets. They're out shooting the United States thus far.
Oh, they got to feel satisfied getting back in this game.
Very much so.
There's that jammed up D you mentioned.
Yeah, Edwards is looking for an alley. He'll step back for 3, and that will not count, I believe, just past the buzzer on the putback by Davis. So South Sudan has the lead through one quarter.
I think it was going in. Davis a little premature of a little step back, and the right call, I think, too, as well. But give a little confidence to the opponent. South Sudan has done a terrific job. Dribble drive.
For the second, great sign there. Working on excellence is what WE means for Curry, but South Sudan trying to do its best Curry imitation from the outside.
They have been efficient too. Any drop coverage, been able to kick it. They're going to rely on the threes, but it's off the dribble driving kick. But even here, the spacing's been excellent. Played with a lot of confidence to get back in this.
4 of their 10 shots made were from three-point range. The United States struggled from the outside in a game that is predicated at the international level on the three-point shot. The U.S. took many more, 36 attempts against Serbia compared to the average of about 23 to 26 in the first 2 contests.
They've kept Jones out of the lane. It's one of the few times he's gotten the touch.
Only 2 touches in the paint, and then he's able to kick it out, and Shayak hits his second 3. South Sudan has a 5-point lead on their 5th 3.
You cannot overhelp.
The spacing so essential at this level. Now Gabriel and Davis, a couple of former Lakers, bang away there. A foul on Wenyen.
Anytime you get a touch to the lane, everybody sneaks a peek a little bit. Nice movement to get the open look. Late challenge, a little nylon.
Well, you said it. Jones, obviously a great scorer for South Sudan at FIBA, but was also the tournament leader in assists. That is where he is essential for South Sudan to have success inside.
And Shayak's so good as Davis gets a good look with the jump hook. Shayak's so good knocking down those threes and getting available.
So Halliburton is on Jones. It's a switch with the bigger Adebayo. The pull-up shot. Carlik Jones
sticking it.
His first points after he had 3 dimes already. One of the top players in the NBA G League. In fact, the top scorer in the G League and an MVP a couple of years ago. Edwards, the step through.
How about that crossover? Effective in the lane.
After South Sudan had taken its largest lead at 7, now back down to 5.
Well, they're playing with some confidence. Good ball movement.
And a deep one from Omat.
Oh, my goodness. Can't relax. They're a catch-and-shoot team.
It is an 8-point advantage for South Sudan. Edwards being hassled that time by Shayak, who was known as a solid defender in his time at Iowa State. A lot of transferring from Virginia.
A lot of settling. Halliburton with a hustle play.
And Edwards way off target, and a foul on Carlik Jones as Adebayo grabbed the offensive board.
Yeah, excuse me, Tatum with some good hustle. And right here, just a little dribble drive, dance, knock it down, bam. Put flat-footed. Again, availability, a little screen opens it up. Terrific. Oh, my, drilling.
They've made 12 of their last 15 shots. Meanwhile, the United States holding Serbia, obviously predicated on their ball movement with Jokic at 41%. So far, a 59% clip for South Sudan.
All of a sudden, USA settling for shots. There's a little flex cut, back screen to the box.
Tatum out of the ISO. Davis tried to tap it, run down by Halliburton. So now Tatum going to try to penetrate into the teeth of the defense, and he draws a foul.
A good play by him, too. not settling for the three, get himself into the game a little bit.
Thor was in there. Cole picks up the foul. And the newly minted NBA champion with the fresh cut, Jason Tatum, goes to the line. And this, the penultimate exhibition showcase game before the United States plays Germany on Monday. And then they will have South Sudan in their group, along with Puerto Rico and Serbia in Group C.
I know you, with your research, saw this where they don't have an indoor gym that they could practice in. It's just amazing.
South Sudan has had to practice in multiple countries.
Right.
They were practicing in Rwanda for a little while. This is a team that has not been given or handed anything. Carlik Jones got it to go.
And over Davis as well.
With real rim protection underneath, Jones is able to find another two. Tough drive by Davis, left it short, tapped alive into the hands of Cole. Running is Thor.
Oh, he missed him in the corner, too.
And Jones unable to hit the three.
Oh, he had Shayok in the other corner. They are hustling. An extra look.
And Shayok misfires, and the rebound to the United States and Adebayo.
Boy, he was wide open.
Oh. They go right down to Davis, knocked away by Cole.
Competing.
Well, this was a problem these last couple of games for the U.S. The turnovers, a challenge by Adebayo as Thor will draw the foul.
They're going to get the attention of the USA right now. This team playing well, unselfishly, playing with a lot of confidence, too. Anytime you can spread a team with these dribble drives, this is a great finish. You don't get the layup, you find somebody in the corner three. And right here, the activity, the hands, boy, they are feisty.
Adebayo has picked up 3 fouls now. You only get 5 at the international level. And JT Thor is heading to the line. Was born in Nebraska, but raised in Anchorage. Went to high school in West Virginia and Georgia, but both of his parents are from the South Sudan.
And you haven't left Chicago in your lifetime.
These kids, I mean, you said it, the strife, the trials, the tribulations, it's a truly wonderful story, regardless of what you watch in terms of basketball. Obviously, I'm very biased towards Luol Deng with his wonderful years in service in Chicago. But the thing that we always knew about Luol was he was a humanitarian away from the floor. And what he's done for Basketball Without Borders, what he's done for basketball in Sudan, in Africa, working with Joakim Noah and several other wonderful humanitarians for this game. It is quite the story to see what South Sudan is doing. Again, making its first Olympic run, getting prepared next week. And Royale Ivy's done a really nice job these last 3 years as head coach.
And Deng, with his foundation, has done an incredible job for the youth of that country.
Foul discrepancy here, because again, it was important to note if it was on Adebayo. It is, as of now, the 3rd on Adebayo. And here is JT Thor. He worked himself into that young Charlotte Hornets rotation. Only played about 30 games as a rookie, but 60 plus the last couple of years, each of the last 2 years. That's a fun group. Mark Williams and JT Thor adding some length and size. Obviously, they played well with LaMelo Ball.
I'm sure they've brought a lot of confidence to this team, too, having played against these USA guys.
Absolutely. You see a 3 on Adebayo now. The starting 5 are back in with Holiday, James, Embiid, Booker, and Curry. It's LeBron on the drive, tapped out of bounds by the Sudanese.
Yeah.
10 on the shot clock.
Yeah, they were trying to have a set play with Steph with a back screen and a pop.
United States 1 for 9 from 3-point range. Let's see if Curry can snap him out of it. 1 for 10. Jones with an excellent rebound from the guard spot.
This is where they're tough on play.
That is Cole, misses but draws the foul.
Cole with a nice play getting down the floor. They push it and take advantage of any of those looks to dribble, kick, and right now just get them organized. Don't take the 3, but the closeout not as effective. Blew by. They're tough, playing with confidence.
Absolutely. Embiid picks up his second. It's the second on the U.S. Small sample size, because this was about the time against Serbia where the United States picked it up, certainly. But we're seeing some issues with turnovers. seeing some issues with spacing, and at times the ball sticking a little bit, which is what we really saw the first 2 games for the U.S., and then we saw a better adjustment against Serbia.
I think they're actually shocked and surprised.
Sure.
These kids are playing with a lot of confidence, getting things done on the offensive end, kicking the ball. And early in the game, USA moving, spacing, cutting, got in the way from it.
Bull Quoll again went to, as many of these young men did, high school in Australia. There's a large immigration for about a decade from Sudan to Australia. It's why there's such a high percentage of South Sudanese that are raised and go to high school in Australia.
Scraping, and look at this.
Carly Jones finding Shayok, who had to adjust as he stumbled a little bit, but suddenly it's a 12-point lead for South Sudan.
Getting the USA's attention here, sloppy with the ball.
It is Curry, that won't go. It is a 1-for-11 3-point shooting start for the U.S. Juk Deng with Shayok, Quoll, Jones, and Thor. A 14-4 start in the second quarter for South Sudan.
Yeah, Deng brings a lot of energy, and Jones gets to the rim.
And one for Carly Jones, who is feeling himself right now.
He loves to go right, but that time so effective going left. Goodness. They are impressive early. Little dribble drive, lead him to the big guy, but a heck of a delivery with the kiss.
Booker the foul. Carly Jones, we've already waxed poetic on this young man, originally from Cincinnati. First went to Radford, had a great couple of years, transfers to Louisville, all ACC, and was a dynamite scorer in the G League for the Windy City Bulls. And he's put South Sudan up by 15 points. A shocking first 14 minutes so far.
He had double-doubles, 3 of them in the World Cup, too.
Huge scorer, huge assist guy. Embiid finally snaps the funk.
This is where they're going to get back in it. On this end of the floor. Stay at home on the shooters.
They've got Holiday on Jones with the nice hezzy. High off window. Curry the rebound and the push. This is what this lineup was doing in the first quarter, trying to push the pace. Nice pass. Curry backdoor for Booker. It is James. LeBron has to kick it out. It's a mismatch with Embiid on the smaller, much smaller Jones.
Nice
good
help
double by Quoll, and he forces another United States turnover, Bill.
Boy, they are on a string here defensively. Helping one another out. Not a good look there. That's what they did early, the earlier games. A lot of passes between the offensive people. Not as sound as they were last game.
Whistling a foul as Holiday was hassling Jones.
That's a big assignment right now. Jones, such an effective weapon off the bounce. Are you shocked?
I think so.
A little bit.
More, not necessarily with how South Sudan is playing, but more so with some of the issues we've seen from the U.S. because we saw much better stuff against Serbia.
I'm impressed.
Very much
with
so.
South Sudan, obviously. Is that a bound? They're going to foul?
They'll say no foul. They'll let the physical play go, and I think that's where some of the confusion is. Because it feels like it should either be a foul on Curry or out of bounds to the United States. Instead, 8 to shoot.
Another argument lost. Are they going to review it?
Whistle here, so we'll have a stoppage.
Royale has them believing, though. Their impact has been extraordinary. There's no lead is insurmountable, of course, with the level of play and, of course, the three-point shot, too.
They will check to see who was last to touch. And I would agree with Curry's assessment here. If it's not a foul against the United States, then it was probably last touched by the Sudanese here and Quoll.
Unless he was out of bounds when he touched it.
And Curry was saying he never touched the ball until that point, and I think it had already been whistled out of bounds at that point.
Yeah, his foot's out of bounds.
It should be United States basketball.
Correct. Steph seldom argues, so.
his Olympic debut coming up at age 36. Obviously dealt with injuries in the past.
That is a surprising note. You think of the accomplishments he's had, the championships, and there's a pretty good ball player on the sideline, huh?
You saw Kevin Durant out there as well. So Durant, there was some expectation that he would play today. He was questionable for the contest today. Likely will play Monday for his lone tune-up for the Olympics. That's where the call should be made. Out of bounds was Cole, that foot, when he made contact with the ball. There is Durant. So a strained calf during warm-ups, or during workouts, I should say, in June. And that had kept him out. He returned to practice this past week. Was hoping to get some action at some point this weekend. Was out on the floor during warm-ups. Looked fairly comfortable and confident. Was moving well.
Loves the game, this kid. He's a baller, as they say. Ever since he set foot on the University of Texas campus, used to go back there, get guys up at 5 in the morning after he had left and got into the NBA. Get him up, get him working. Did Steph win the argument? I guess he did.
Seemingly, it should be United States basketball, and it is. Durant, the all-time leading Olympic scorer in United States history, trying to become the first 4-time United States gold medalist in basketball on the men's side, and he'll have an opportunity coming up. Halfway through this second period, a 13-point South Sudan lead. What has been a little bit of a shocker thus far.
Scouting report, not paid attention to, really. Getting beat down the floor for some open looks. Finding people off the bounce. Oh, they got a discard here.
Curry was trying to battle through Bull Cole, who lived up to the name there. And that'll take us to a timeout on the floor. LeBron and Curry teaming up for the first time at the Olympics. They're down Sudan. Group A, though, is the group to keep an eye on. That's the group of death, as often is referred to in international competition for outstanding countries.
Watching this game, there should be a bunch of surprises, though. Nobody talked too much about this club.
Embiid in that mismatch inside. Majuk Deng will pick up the foul.
Yeah, that's what they have to do. Be a little more physical, a little more post-up.
Trying to find the bottom of the well.
Yeah.
1 for 11 from 3.
Good shots by and large, too.
Sure. From good shooters as well. Curry has hit the only one for the U.S. Embiid in the U.S. Both teams, in fact, in the bonus for the rest of the period.
Joel, as you get along in the tournament here, the Olympics, he's going to have to do a really good job defensively because the ability of screening by bigs and popping. I think you'll see Davis in those situations more.
The quickness on defense in this international game that's so predicated on spacing. That's why Davis and Adebayo are such keys off the bench. There is this young factor Blue Devil, Malawach.
They're talking about him inside with a little jump hook, stepping out, drilling.
And Malawach got back defensively. He may have been the man who ends up with the foul as Majuk Deng joined on the defense against Embiid. It is the second on Malawach.
Well, they are playing with such confidence right here. A nice little use of the bump. How about that? Screen, turn, catch, drill.
So right back to the free throw line, Embiid. He is 2 of 4 thus far. 6 points, 3 rebounds, and a pair of assists.
You like to say USA is sluggish, but I just think the pep and the step of the South Sudanese is just incredible.
I think that may have been the thing that surprised the U.S. the most.
Yeah, alarming, really.
This time he knocks down both. 8 points to lead the United States for Embiid.
They are quick to the offensive glass as well. And with threes, that's an important product.
Holiday watches Jackson McCoy, who's now at the controls, with Carlik Jones having played 12 minutes on the bench. Tough shot for Shayok. Here comes James trying to find space in the open floor, and the Sudanese get back quickly. and continue to hassle James, who's had turnover issues in this first half. Oh, trying to find Majuk Deng on the run out, but out of bounds. Both teams have had the turnover bug early.
Scrappy on the defensive end, though. USA loose with the ball as well.
Right back to Embiid against Kaman Malawach. The double from Deng. The rotation for the U.S. Curry the fake. And he draws that foul. Jackson McCoy, who came flying out. That will send Curry to the line.
That much better ball movement. That's typical, more typical of the way they play. Things were sticking a little bit.
NBA average for three-point attempts during a game is right in the mid-30s. International level, you sometimes see it even higher than that, sometimes into the high 30s, even into the 40s, with certain teams, depending on which country you're playing, as Jones is going to come back in for South Sudan. Not to say that the U.S. has to match that because of the talent and versatility, but the shots have to go down first and foremost.
Right.
The ball movement has to be paramount, and I think the U.S. is still a little bit in that feeling out process.
Sticking. I'll tell you, the way the impact is that the closeouts are much longer.
Sure.
And that's part of the issue. That last trip, the ball movement, Steph actually had a pretty good look, and a little sidestep gets him to the free throw line.
Is that the lane size that has the most impact for the long closeout?
I think it's the overhelp.
Okay.
And jamming it up.
Okay.
So it's probably both.
Curry had the defense on Jones, who finds Deng on a nifty feed. It's Embiid with JT4 and the double from Deng. The double teams are really causing problems for the U.S. Another turnover.
Not reacting well at all.
Good job by Booker to get on top of Shea.
Yeah, he was ready to lose.
Well, Holiday right back on Carlik Jones. Such a cog for this South Sudanese team.
Look at the open middle, so you got to stay at home on a show tough shot.
Wow, Shea puts it down while Booker was hassling him defensively.
Well, they are playing confidently.
That's an angry drive by Shea.
A message, maybe.
8 points for LeBron, who cannot be pleased with this United States first half.
South Sudan now closing out this half. I think is important to them. USA trying to step it up a little bit.
Booker on defense, running with Holiday. And Drew puts it home.
And relax. Quick timeout. If they're going to get back in it, it's that defensive end.
A little bit of a defensive surge, and you've said this twice already in this half, Bill. It has to start with the defensive end of the floor.
Too talented, too many guys.
The O2 Arena tonight in London. That's the site for the United States and Germany coming up on Monday. Of course, the Germans, the reigning FIBA World Cup champions, number 3 ranked team in the FIBA rankings. The U.S. is number 1. This is going to be a very impressive showcase for the Germans. That's coming up on Monday. This has been a problem throughout as the United States still tries to find that rhythm and chemistry with this group.
And this team is playing with a lot of confidence, South Sudan. Jones back on the floor. Instrumental, really, in getting the lead.
And trying to get into the paint. He does against Davis.
That's what they do. Kick out
and Shea.
And get a look. You cannot leave the three-point shooter.
Quickness and three-point shooting for South Sudan has been a major factor. Good ball movement and an angry Edwards jam.
Boy, making them pay for that rotation.
So this is the first time we're seeing this 5 on the floor together tonight. James, Booker, and Curry with Edwards and Davis. And James trying to stick with Jones, and Carlik Jones is not afraid of anybody.
Wow, they'll be looking at this tape.
James, the spin, into traffic, and a foul.
Once he makes his mind up, clear it. He's going to take you right to the rim.
Well, Carlik Jones, I got a chance to see him up close. He's trying to earn a full-time spot. He's played 12 NBA games. He's putting tape together to make it back to the league.
He should. What a finish here. You can just see lifting everybody, plenty of room to roam. And if you sort of stop the dribbler, the spot-up shooter's available.
Leads the way with 9 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. Shayok's got 14 to lead South Sudan, but Jones is, as you might say, is the straw that stirs the drink.
I have not heard that.
No, not once. It's a very old adage.
They've done a nice job when he was on the bench as well.
Again, some of the depth for South Sudan has been on display. This is a roster that came in with 25 players, several of whom, there's 4 now on the active roster today that have NBA experience, but several on the 25-man had a good amount of NBA experience, certainly a lot of Euro League and Australian Basketball League, National Basketball League experience. So
trying to prove something, really.
And it was tough to cut down to this roster today. So the challenge and the depth, impressive for Deng and Ivy and company. A minute left in the second. It's Thor separating from Davis.
How about that? Again, one-on-one. Ability to take their guy, whether it's to the rim or the jumper to step back.
Shooting 63%. Curry misses. It's 1 for 12 for the U.S. James the rebound and out of bounds off Curry.
Well, they are off out of sync here right now. You had mentioned the inability to make threes. Some wide open. But look at this step. Taking advantage of the larger, taller Davis. Thor.
Sunday Detch got a quick run. 1 minute on the floor. He goes right back to the bench.
Well, if you were South Sudan, you wish you could just continue playing. No halftime break. They are in sync and fluid.
Could be a fly on the wall for Steve Kerr's thoughts at halftime. Tough drive and a foul drawn by JT Thor as he ran towards Booker.
I think you're right. Booker trying to stop it.
Second on Devin Booker.
They are perplexed, just like that look on LeBron's face. This team was all business. I think of what they had to get through to get here. I mean, just amazing. Put this team together, play with this confidence, the movement.
Established just 13 years ago. The nickname for the South Sudanese is the Bright Stars. And it seems like it's very fitting considering some of the talent we've seen and how exceptionally well they've played for at least a half thus far, leading by 16, their largest lead. JT Thor has done good stuff off the bench. 6 points for the former Auburn Tiger. Edwards, James, LeBron, aggressive.
How about that? How did he stay in the air that long, able to finish on the reverse?
A chance at a three-point play and a foul against South Sudan on Detch.
Probably watch them press at the end of this, see if they can get another one after the free throw. Boy, he is strong. Goodness. Lower that shoulder.
Called the foul on Detch. It didn't seem like he was actually connected to the play. Maybe they'll change that.
They're having trouble with the open middle.
Open up play in Lille. The that play at the
win.
Because all these international teams, these countries that play at this level, that play with these rules, that play with this pace over the course of every tournament, year in and year out, and develop a little bit more chemistry because many of those players play in that system from the time that they're 16 years old and grow into the national team. The United States has to make quick adjustments to that starting next week and probably starting now, Frank.
Well, they had the 4 days in Vegas and one they didn't do anything. And now it's just getting a little flow, trying to get different bodies on the floor. And I think this guy is in to contain your guy, Jones.
Derek White, who was the replacement for Kawhi Leonard, is on the floor to start. So they'll go with a bench unit here. White, Davis, Adebayo, Tatum, and Edwards. White is basically taking the spot of Halliburton with this unit. Here is Edwards. Takes the jumper. Will not go. The tap back by Adebayo into the hands of Davis, and he got it home.
And Bam kept it alive. Able to finish for Davis.
Carlik Jones was outstanding in that first half. No surprise as he feeds inside for the running Wenyen Gabriel, a whistle and a foul.
They're having trouble with the open middle, whether it's the cut or the drive. Very confusing. A nice little cut and dive to the rim there.
Edwards picked up his first foul. Jones with 9 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds in the first half from the guard spot. Davis with the block though this time.
Oh, bad gamble.
Jones recovers, fires, and off the heel. And it's tipped alive for Adebayo. Here's Edwards working on Gabriel. Good defense by Wenyen. Tatum on Omat. Drive and one.
That upper body. Again, Davis just spread a little bit, gave that open alley for Tatum to get to the rim.
First field goal for Jason Tatum.
It might get him going, too. Been a little sluggish of late.
Well, you said spread, and it's so essential for drives because, again, for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with it, no defensive 3-second, so you can jam 2 defenders and hit the rim at almost any given moment, so you have to spread the floor offensively to allow for drives.
Absolutely, the camp out. Conversely, at this end, the same prevails.
Yep. Derek White trying to make an impact in his first minutes.
White gets one on the pin down.
Working against Gabriel. Derek White, who just signed a major extension.
Another great story when you think of it, right? Junior college, then to Colorado.
Tad Boyle making something of him. Derek White had one scholarship offer at 6 feet tall from Jeff Culver at D2 Colorado Springs. Had the growth spurt before he ever played a college game. 2-time All-American at the Division II level before going to Colorado. Good defense by Tatum.
Yeah, good hands.
Shayok, though, has been hot.
Oh, Mott! How about that? Moody with the finish.
The former Baylor Bear. A little growl at the rim.
And that's in the scouting report, too. They do crash beautifully.
There is Tatum. Into Gabriel. Turnaround jumper. Tough shot. Davis battling. Davis's effort draws a foul eventually. As Adebayo was left hanging.
Yeah, they got to scrap. How about this? You take this one. Pretty impressive. Leave the chandelier. Nobody's sticking one another. Part of the scouting report was make sure you put a body on them. Great anticipation. Oh, my goodness.
The 2023 African League MVP was the champion for Al Ahly, which is the team based out of Cairo, won their first African League title. He was impressive during the qualifiers last February that got South Sudan to the World Cup, and then played very well during the World Cup to help them qualify for the Olympics.
And the first note they give you in the scouting report is he loves to crash the glass.
Does he now? There he was.
Proof.
Again. Anunwa Omat, Nooney, as he's known. Davis hits a pair. He's got 6 points now. Go along with 6 rebounds, but just 1 of 6 from the field. The United States shooting 41%. Sudan 57%.
Nice step through.
Rejected though by Davis, who came over for the recovery on defense.
What a great read.
Both players with nice work there.
Absolutely. Even defensively here, the containment in the lane and then the step through. Big time bailout.
That's what you saw so much of against Serbia. That secondary help from Anthony Davis, who played a lot this year. There's always been kind of the narrative has always been he's injury prone. He played a lot of games this season, missed a minimal amount, and was in the lineup just about as often as he could be for the Lakers. Played a high number of games. Inside off the inbound, it's good for Cole. Excellent out of bounds play.
Overload right, nice dive.
And Carlik Jones continues to distribute 7 assists for the G League MVP. White to a wide open Edwards. Omat missed it that time, and finally the U.S. hits a three, just their second on 14 tries.
And the first time, a little faulty closeout by Omat.
And what had been a double-digit South Sudanese lead for quite some time is down to 8. A near turnover by Cole. Gabriel with a traveling violation against his former Laker teammate Davis.
Much more attuned, much more alert. Nice little dive to the rim. There's that inbounds pass. Being prepared for it. Nice look here. Big time chest pass. And Edwards gets it going.
He's got 11 points now. Looking for more. Left it short. The defense of Sheak. Nice save by Wenyen Gabriel. Jones looking for his 8th assist. It's a Cole triple, rebounded by one of the best rebounding guards in the NBA in Derek White.
Now you can see why you got to get back and identify. They love that corner jack 3.
Into Davis against Gabriel. The shifty maneuvering in the deuce.
Took advantage of size.
Against the South Sudanese starting 5, they're smaller. They're bigger off the bench, so I think now's the time to exploit that matchup. Carlik Jones off the dribble, rebounded by Davis.
USA playing with a lot more confidence now. A little flow to their game.
Going with the bench unit to start the second half.
Nice pass.
Big to big, and they take advantage of another mismatch with the guard Jones.
Good ball movement, no question about it. Jones caught down low. Playing with a little juice right now. This is just beautiful footwork, poise, the ability to finish both ends of the floor. Davis plays like this. This is a different unit.
The U.S. has trimmed the lead down to a half dozen. The United States going with their bench unit to start this second half, and it has played with energy so far.
They have been solid, much more aggressive, offensive-minded ball movement. Both ends of the floor are a little bit different. I think the quickness of Davis in the lineup changes the look quite a bit. Of course, Bam, just a solid kid defensively. Has showed signs offensively on a consistent basis during this tournament as well.
It's a 13-4 start to the third quarter for the United States after going with all bench unit players and adding Derek White to the mix.
I think their coverage has improved as well. It's gotten them back in this.
Well, South Sudan had missed 4 shots the entire second quarter. They've just gone 2 for 9, so 7 missed shots here in the third.
They're much more of a challenge on shots. Automatic switching.
Well, that's the other thing with this lineup, a little bit more defensive versatility. Maluach, the future Blue Devil, knocks down a 3.
You can just see Davis caught too much distance on the closeout.
Back up to a 7-point lead for the South Sudanese. The last United States lead was 16-15 past the halfway point of the first. Adebayo against the smaller Sheak. The double by Jones.
Nice look.
For Tatum, for Davis. Would not go. Got his own miss and draws the foul.
Boy, he is possessed. So much more activity. The ability defensively. They have been in tune on this particular play. We're going to end up with Davis not being able to close out. So looking to help. Just a little dribble drive. Gee, with a bile on him. Could have stayed right at home. And Bam was in good position to contain.
Well, you said it, though, the longer closeouts, right? That was another step. Maybe at the NBA level, based on spacing, Davis doesn't have, or with that same gait, he probably ends up with the closeout. But with the spacing here, a little bit tougher to get all the way out.
And South Sudan really wisely making the pass, too. Taking advantage.
You think that made John Shire smile a little bit when he sees Maluach knocking down a triple?
You know what? I didn't see that in watching the games that they played, or at least the game the other day.
Against Great Britain?
Yeah, a little jump hook is about all you saw, and a tremendous shot block.
JT Thor had 11 good minutes in the first half. He'll come in for Omat, who has been really solid with 9 points and 4 rebounds. Davis's free throws have cut the lead down to 5. 6 of his 9 boards on the offensive end so far. Edwards on Jones. Switch Can with this lineup with Davis.
A little staggered Thor.
This fires on a 3, long rebound. Malawak saved it, but 2 on Bio.
Nice give.
Tatum lost it on the crossover attempt. Another U.S. turnover, and leads to a Shea triple, his 4th of the game.
Boy, they burn you on that early transition. Lighten it up. Great delivery on the pass.
Mariel Shayok, former Virginia Cavalier and Iowa State Cyclone, with 17 points in an excellent performance. Edwards can't answer on the rebound to Malawak, and he gets fouled.
Right with the reach in. A little bit of a settle on those jumpers. Turnovers leading to open floor opportunities. Kick it out. How about this look, too? Jones has been excellent. Shayok, light them up. Boy, transition D, a major issue, particularly in the first half.
So now the U.S. is going to go back to its starting lineup here.
That was a good run. Dissipate a little with some shot selection.
Holiday, James, Embiid, Booker, and Curry, the same starting 5 from the opening exhibition game against Canada started today. No Kevin Durant yet. Holiday on Jones, looking for the deuce, and somehow got his own miss against James. Shayok looking for another triple!
How about him spotting up and the recognition to kick it out?
A guy who's in 2 career threes at the NBA level has knocked down 5 of 8 and has 20 points today.
Look out there jamming it up, letting it force it a deep shot, taking advantage of LeBron.
Just the 3rd United States 3 on 16 tries. A big one for James.
Right now, South Sudan has their attention.
Oh man, Shayok a heat check 3. Rebounded eventually by Embiid, who stumbles to get it to Booker. And Devin Booker trying to get going, running into 2 defenders.
Nice call. Holiday alert on the cut, but great vision. A big fella.
Second dime for LeBron James. Lead back down to 6. It is Thor drawing the contact on Embiid and 1.
I got to know it's his left hand, too. Got to take it away. Really attack gets the big guy backpedaling. But right here, look at this dive to the rim. Excellent vision. They are not going away, are they?
No.
Not relinquishing this lead. Playing with such exuding confidence.
JT Thor, excellent work off the bench. 9 points, couple of assists. The length on defense that a lot of these guys see when they play the Charlotte Hornets. James, they gave him a lot of space to get to the paint, getting the defense in the air, and Thor came over with the block.
That is where they hurt you in the early offense.
It's Thor against the smaller Holiday and a reach-in foul. Bonus action for both teams, so 2 shots for JT Thor.
Boy, how impressive they've been. But here, the little drop step, everybody converse. A little power at the rim, but not backing off at all. You can see that. You got to kick that one out. Somebody spaced up, get a nice, clean look.
Thor's dropped the hammer with a double-digit effort off the bench.
Back up to 10. Took the hit.
U.S. got to within 5 points. And right back up to an 11-point South Sudanese advantage. It's James with Majuk Deng guarding. Curry moving away from the ball to get the 3.
He circled the floor, step, nice bumps on the baseline. LeBron with the patience to find him. Step, delivers.
Typical Steph Curry. Arguably the best in the NBA moving without the basketball. Quick trigger from Deng off the Jones feed, and it should be United States ball. It is. And Curry wants to go.
He sprinted the whole floor. Look at the series of bumps. Just able to read it. Quick catch and stick.
9 points for Curry. The U.S., after that 12-2 start, has not had a run of more than 4 points. Impressive from the South Sudanese defensively.
Yeah, no flow.
Mismatch. Curry, step back. No. Embiid slaps it out. Booker saves it for another chance. Here is Booker. Into the teeth of Thor. Left it short. And last touched by Booker. It'll be South Sudan ball.
Well, they've done a pretty good job collectively, defensively. Thor keeps him in front. They're just aggressive, both ends of the floor.
There is Manchuk Deng working against Holiday. Jackson Coy working against Holiday, who knocked it free and saved it to James. What a play by Drew Holiday. James with the jam and a foul. A flex from LeBron James to try to reignite the United States.
They get back in it. It's got to be on the D. A terrific play right here. Just look at this strength. The quickness. 39. My goodness, Jack Benny would envy him.
And Drew Holiday reinserted into the starting lineup, trying to make the impact at the end of the floor where he has been relied upon by so many championship caliber teams and 2 title teams in this decade already. Gets the steal to start the break for James.
Boy, that flex reminded me of you at the pregame meal.
I was very excited about that sandwich. 5-point game as we approach 106 for the third. A much more spirited effort.
Much so. Much more so.
Holiday against Thor. Oh, he's hassling him here. Thor trying to get free, and he ends up traveling. Excellent defensive work by Drew Holiday.
That's his trademark. They're just willing to stick his nose there, compete. Was he in white? What contributors to the championship for the Celtics?
It was not an easy decision to part ways from Milwaukee with Drew Holiday because of how impactful he was, not only at both ends of the floor, but in that locker room for Milwaukee.
You saw enough of him, right? Chicago?
4 times a year, he would hassle the Bulls and hassle a lot of NBA teams with his two-way play. 90 seconds for the third. James with space, looking for Curry. Flip back to James. Got in the air, found Holiday behind the back, fires the jumper, and because of how impactful he was, not only at both ends of the floor, but in that locker room for Milwaukee.
You saw enough of him, right? Chicago?
4 times a year, he would hassle the Bulls and hassle a lot of NBA teams with his two-way play. 90 seconds for the third. James with space, looking for Curry. Flip back to James.
And the fingerprints of LeBron all over this corner.
Fires the jumper, and was not only at both ends of the floor, but in that locker room for Milwaukee.
You saw enough of him, right? Chicago?
4 times a year, he would hassle the Bulls and hassle a lot of NBA teams with his two-way play. 90 seconds for the third. James with space, looking for Curry. Flip back to James. He was not only at both ends of the floor, but in that locker room for Milwaukee. He used to go for the right. 4 times a year, he would hassle the Bulls and hassle a lot of NBA teams with his two-way play. 90 seconds for the third.